People have been calling this update inside of Diablo Immortal a flop. We received patch notes yesterday for the game, and as people have read through, feedback has been surprisingly negative. What I want to do with you guys today is go through these patch notes and see exactly what everyone's upset about, as well as see what's coming to the game inside of Diablo Immortal. This is one of the larger feature updates as we prepare for Diablo to enter back into the Diablo universe, and we utilize Tyrion's sword to take them down. But we need to cleanse ourselves first of all the world stone shards that has brought darkness inside of our bodies. That's a little bit of the lore that goes behind this. We do have some trailers and a ton of information inside of this video, as well as at the very end of the video I'll be sharing with you some interactions between the community and the community manager, which I believe is a positive thing, so make sure you don't miss that. So as you can see right here, and I'm not going to read through every single thing, Tyrion's sword plays a large role inside of all of this. Can't wait to wield it. And we have heard rumor that there's going to be one hand or two-handed weapons, which maybe it starts here with the sword. Who knows? This update is going to be going live on September 11th. So we have tomorrow. This will be dropping for all of us. Now, in addition, we do have a trailer that I want to kind of tune into with you guys right now. So let's come on over here. We're going to full screen this bad boy and see what this is all about. We don't get trailers of this nature that often, so I'm excited to see what this looks like. Let's take a play.
Eldruin, Sword of the Archangel of Justice. The weapon I need to defeat Diablo. And it rejects what I have become. My quest to destroy the Worldstone shards transform me into a host from malevolent specters of chaos. I can no longer contain their darkness. Evil pours from my body, feasts on my soul. Death follows me as I walk this path of deliverance. I must travel to the land of the Tempest to cleanse my impurity. Only then will I be worthy to wield Eldruin and face Diablo.
Land of the Tempest. I mean, I think this right here it says it all. I've been so looking forward to this because of being able to interact with Diablo again inside Diablo Immortal. So that is going to be a very, very positive thing. That interaction itself, at least that part of the campaign. Now, a campaign can only go so far. You have a great stage, a great boss battle. You do it once, you do it twice, and then you're like, okay, what's next? But it is really cool that's going to be coming into the game. Actually, the trailer got some decent views for once. Typically, views on Diablo trailers don't do so great. This one got nearly 10K. So it looks like people are interested in it, and I'm hoping, I have high hopes for this. I hope that it all works well. But again, we're going to dive into the details, and this is everything that we're going to be talking about here today. Crucible of Justice main quest. This is essentially, I believe this is where we're going to be going into the land of the Tempest, as they said. It's the next chapter of Diablo Immortal's main quest line, available to those who've reached Paragon level 30 and completed the final leg of the Southern Dreadlands main quest called No Salvation. After retrieving the angelic sword Eldruin from the Dreadlands, you've been tormented by your inability to wield it, a torment now taking a life of its own. The Sword of Justice rejects the darkness that's crept into your body and mind with the shattering of the Worldstone shards. To contain the evil festering within and prepare for your confrontation with Diablo, you must travel to the icy, beast-ridden Cold Isles, home of the Tempest, and fight for your very soul. Now, this is looking really cool. I really like the idea that we're going to the realm of the Tempest. I like that the classes kind of have realms or stages that revolve around them. So that's really cool. And that's a new campaign mode. But that's got to be more than that, right? We've been talking about the Vanguard co-op mode. We dove into some of the Chinese patch notes as well to look and get a kind of hints of what they were sharing. And well, we have some more information right here, actually quite a bit about this game mode. So we're going to go through all of this so we can hopefully have a good understanding of what the game mode is going to look like. Hordes of the implacable enemies have amassed in the Lidwinter Woods. As you walk at the seemingly endless ranks of invaders, their lust for power becomes palpable so you quickly realize that you'll not waver easily and begin to weigh your options. To overcome such terrifying odds, you must band together with the warriors. Together you have a shot at fending off the gigantic threat to Sanctuary. Now, we already have spoken on the channel, and I'll mention it again here, that this seems to be some type of a horde mode where you work together and, I always say, in a Gears of War fashion, fight off hordes of enemies, which reminds us of other game modes like the castle and things like that inside of Diablo Immortal. But there's more to it. Vanguard is a new co-op activity where you cull foes in parties of 4 across various objective-based runs. So it's not just horde mode, there's also objectives to work with here. The objectives your party is tasked with depends on the Vanguard difficulty tier you're playing on. In total, there are 5 objectives, some of which you only unlock at higher difficulty tiers. Objectives may be tasks like escorting a guardian spirit, felling a Helliquary boss, or halting a demon invasion, all to the tune of vicious demons crawling at you from every direction. So it seems, I'm assuming that there are those 3. I don't think that there's others that they didn't mention. So fighting off Helliquary bosses, it's a great use of a mechanic they already have in the game, right? They have these Helliquary bosses, throw them into another game mode so we need to interact with them again. Not a bad idea. Escorting the spirit, so essentially that's just like when we're in the icy realm and we have to escort that spirit. You know, he walks and he goes, sits in the chair, you give him the blessings, you get the rewards. Something probably similar to that, but here you're doing it with a specific team. And as you can see, some type of a battle is going on. You have different icons showing you where either things are coming or where you need to be. To bolster your strength, Vanguard skills empowered your party to face these great challenges. Each of the upgraded and improved by playing through Vanguard, increasing your power through each successful triumph. Join the Vanguard. To begin your co-op adventure, unlock Hell 1 and head to Deckard Cain's basement. Once there, you'll find a Vanguard portal within. Select it to begin, then bring your own 4-person party to matchmake to find eager allies. All right, so we've been down there lately as we've been hunting for our runes. Now we're going to be making our way back to Deckard Cain's basement again for this game mode. Your chosen difficulty determines what challenges you'll face within Vanguard, and there are several increasingly different obstacles that can only be overcome with cooperation. The 2 highest levels include facing off against Helliquary bosses who have returned to curse the land you walk on and smite you down. Upon triumphing within Vanguard's exit through the extraction portal to earn your final rewards. These rewards will increase based on the number of party members that survive, and the higher your completed difficulty, the better the rewards. So it's going to be wise to play with people that aren't going to die. So make sure you got your power up so you could party up and people are going to want to actually play with you. Now we have the Hellish Power ripe for the taking. Now there's a little bit of gameplay action going on here. New tools are at your disposal to help you rise to the challenge ahead. Vanguard boasts mode-specific skills that will kick your character's build up a notch. They call these charms in here. These skills can be acquired through various Vanguard charms, which are earned on successful Vanguard runs. Very interesting that you're using the name charms here, isn't it? There are 4 different categories of Vanguard skills, with 2 skills in each category. Note that the skill values listed are based on a character with 35,000 combat rating and 10,000 resonance. Percentage values and durations of these skills will not vary based off combat rating or resonance levels. Interesting that they went with a 10k res right there. A little bit more of the gameplay here as well. Looks like a Helliquary boss in that one. So we have all of these different skills or charms, as you can see right here. Notice they're called Saper's Raid Charm, Defender's Raid Charm. Pretty cool how they have that set up. And look at this. There is this an Easter egg right here? There's a fully upgraded regular charm in here. Interesting. I wonder if these charms are going to take place of the charms that we wear, and that was unslotted from the build. Let's go back into this and look at some of the skills. Might skills focus on offense and helping allies deal maximum damage. Valor's Call Might call upon inner strength to empower yourself and nearby allies and their summons, increasing critical hit chance by 27% for 8 seconds. Does not talk about any cooldowns there. Defense skills focus on helping everyone take less damage. Aegis, or defense, grant yourself and nearby enemies a shield that absorbs 185,000 damage for 8 seconds. Then we have Martyr defense. Selflessly bind yourself to nearby allies for 8 seconds, taking 20% of the damage that they receive. So there's multiple ways that some of these can work, which is actually kind of cool. Heal skills focus on replenishing the team's life. Healing field. Conjure a healing field for 8 seconds that continuously heals all allies and their summons while they remain within for 15,000 life per second. So nice as well. Then we have a mending orb, which is also for healing. Conjure a mending orb for 8 seconds that tracks and follows allies, healing them and their summons for 15,488 life per second while near the orb. Then we have Bane skills focus on debilitating and debuffing enemies. Interesting. Warp Strike Bane. Call a Warp Strike down on a target area, dealing 51,000 damage to up to 12 enemies and reducing their attack and movement speed by 27%, again for 8 seconds. Then you have Blight Orb from Bane. Conjure a Blight Orb for 8 seconds that tracks and follows enemies, increasing the damage they take by 27% while near the orb. Now keep in mind, as you use these orbs, like if you use a Blight Orb, that's going to increase the damage they take. And then if you go ahead with one of the might things right here, it's going to empower you, giving you a critical hit chance of 27% for 8 seconds. If you combine those two between two different players, you're able to drop a lot of damage on enemies really quickly. Now, powerful Vanguard charms. Fight through the Vanguard to successfully earn charms, which provide new skills or can be used to upgrade your other Vanguard charms. These charms can be upgraded to a maximum of level 20. Upgrading the skills initially increases the number of affixes on the skill and eventually improves the quality and potency of those given affixes. So this is cool. And actually the game mode itself, it's not going to be a one and done, right? Most likely if this goes well, as a lot of the other game modes have, they'll be in a returning cycle. So I'm happy that it's something that looks pretty cool. Hoping that these charms aren't much of a grind. Being able to get them to level 20 could be something that's quite intense. Specifically, if you could only use it for this game mode. If we could use these charms in another area of the game, like if we could use these charms on our builds in the real game, well, wow, that would be pretty awesome. And some of these things that we could take into PvP, that would be pretty cool, but not sure if that's going to be a thing. It would be cool, but there's no word that that's going to actually happen. Vanguard charms can also be broken down into shards, which can then be used to upgrade any Vanguard charm. Note the charms are only functional. See, they just answered it for me there. They're only functional within Vanguard. So you got to play a hell of a lot of this game mode to be able to get yourself a level 20 charm, to be able to get that maximum damage and everything that we were just reading about those charms. The question is, will players, for a limited time event, will players be able to, or will they be willing to play that much, to grind that much, to get those charms that high up in level? I guess it depends on if there's any utility for those charms after the event leaves, or if there's big enough rewards worth that grind. Or, of course, if it's just fun enough where people just want to keep playing it. New Helliquary Affixes. Put the formidable sweeping attacks traditionally wielded by Helliquary bosses in your hand. These affixes can be found in offhand and main hand items that you'll receive as rewards for completing Vanguard runs in the highest 2 difficulty tiers. The affixes can be used anywhere in Sanctuary, so check that out. We just were talking about some rewards that people may be getting from doing these things. Looks like you're going to be able to have some of these skills from Helliquary bosses on your regular weapons. That seems to only be available from playing this game mode, but then we could use it everywhere, which is actually quite cool. It's nice that they're doing that, to be honest. There are 3 powerful affixes to earn from Vanguard. For each of the following affixes during your ultimate, each primary attack has a 10% chance to trigger a boss skill when hitting an enemy. Let's read that one more time. For each of the following affixes during your ultimate, so this is only during an ultimate, each primary attack has a 10% chance to trigger a boss skill when hitting an enemy. So it's not something that definitely happens, and it only happens during ultimates, to keep in mind. Twofold Barrage. Unleash the power of Asaya. Twofold Rebirth. Releasing a barrage of projectiles that deals damage to surrounding enemies. Deluge Maelstrom. Unleash the power of Yamnal of the Deluge, conjuring a massive whirlpool that pulls in nearby enemies. When the whirlpool dissipates, it bursts, dealing damage to all enemies. I kind of like that one. And Flame Spun Eruption, unleash the power of LaSalle, the Flame Spun, gathering immense strength before slamming the ground, dealing damage to all nearby enemies and shattering their armor, increasing damage they take by 30% for 8 seconds. I actually like that one a lot. LaSalle being the original and one of my favorite Helliquary bosses in the game. All right, let's move on. We got some new legendary gems. We've spoken about this in previous videos as well. Keep in mind, everything that we're going to be seeing here is looking at these gems as 5-star rank 10 at their highest capacity. So now we have some other things here regarding other gems. Dealing damage grants you a Savage Heart. So this is essentially the Wolf Heart. Wolf Heart. Dealing damage grants you a Savage Heart for 6 seconds, causing your attacks to mark enemies. At 5 stacks, the marks are consumed and slash the heart of the enemy, dealing 95% base damage. Marks can be applied and stacked again on the same enemy 0.3 seconds after they were consumed. It also causes you to howl, granting 14% attack speed to you and nearby allies for 3 seconds. It can't trigger more than once every 20 seconds. Now, to unlock the full power of this gem, obtain the following 5 resonance gems: Maw, Void Spark, Igneous Scorn, Ironbane, and Pain Clasp. Then we have the 2-star gem. Dealing damage summons a pillar of ice at the enemy's location with life equal to 500% of your life. Enemies near the pillar are chilled and dealt 85% base damage plus 344. If the pillar persists for 6 seconds, or it will persist for 6 seconds or until it's destroyed. And again, to unlock the full power of this gem, obtain the 3 following. So it keeps, this is new. They're showing other gems that will complement utilizing this gem as well. And then we have the 1-star Entrophic Well, increases the skill damage by 18%, increases skill attack speed by 4%. There's no time on this. There's no cooldown. So that's actually a decent gem specifically for a 1-star, increasing your damage and speed from skills essentially all of the time. Now we're going to have a modified drop table as well if you want to run Elder Rifts from September 11th, which is the day that this drops, to October 2nd. So essentially 3 weeks, you're going to be able to fix your drop table so that you'll be able to get yourself, or better odds of getting yourself, the brand new legendary gem, the Wolf Horn. It's a cool looking gem. We'll see if it's actually a game changer. Again, and for me, you invest so much in these 5-star gems, and I've been playing for 2.5 years, and this past week, if you didn't see the video, I just reached 3K resonance. For me, that's a big deal. Spend a little bit in the game. Battle Pass, Boon of Plenty, Prodigy's Path. Those are the 3 things that I purchase all the time. So that's essentially 20, that's 15. It probably is 20, 25 bucks a month when you work out how often Prodigy's Path comes through. And it takes a long time to get res. That's also with some donations from the community that I've used for Legendary Crest runs and things like that. Now we have another event coming, Festival of the Ancient Moon limited time event. And here, from September 13th through the 27th, complete daily and weekly tasks to earn rewards. Daily tasks include playing through the Sanctum, the Castle, and the Abyssal Verge to earn runes, Moonlight Flora, Aspirant Keys, and more. So essentially, this is play the game, do the activities that they suggest you do, and get rewarded for doing them. So another very easy activity to participate in that gives you rewards for doing so. New chapters on the hero's journey await. All right, so we're gonna be able to get new stuff from our progressions inside of the game from Hero's Journey. Essentially, we're just gonna be getting a chapter 5, which is getting us these rewards right here. We're also getting a chapter 6, which is getting us these rewards right here, including a bound legendary crest. Same thing over here. And the Expedition Portal cosmetic, which is cool. I like cosmetics when they come through. Additionally, in Chapter 2 of the Hero's Journey, we've updated the task of catching 1 legendary fish to be 1 rare fish instead. I guess it's taken people too long. Now, Toil of Virtue limited time event. You already know that I like the look of this one. September 11th. Through September 25th, there are 2 separate lists of tasks to conquer. It's already sounding like it's just something with rewards. The first list has challenges that earn you champions commendations, which can be completed multiple times with no limit on task completions. You can earn 1,200 champion commendations each week to exchange these commendations for awards throughout the event. You could spend these on Telluric Pearls, Bound Legendary Crest, Legendary Items, Enchanted Dust, Scrap, and Gold. So essentially, another event that's themed with Tyrion to get us very excited, where we just get rewards for doing whatever the tasks are inside of the game. The rewards, which are those champions commendations, can be turned in for things that we really want, specifically right here and right here. Those are the two things that I'd be the most excited about. Prodigy's Path updates. We just mentioned that this is something I do engage with in the game. A new Prodigy's Path is upon us, Wanderer. The new seasonal Prodigy's Path will run from September 12th through December 13th. So essentially, Prodigy's Path, it seems that they're on a quarterly update. These are going to give us aspirin keys. It's going to give us legendary crests. It's a good value. It's not cheap though. It's $20, and it's something that will last you for 3 months as you unlock rewards along the way. It also gives you the materials you need to upgrade your green material, your green gear, your secondary gear, which is quite beneficial. All right, so yeah, that's for Paragon levels 140 plus. Returning events, what's coming back? Trial of the Hordes, very cool. Trial of the Hordes is going to be back on September 13th through the 20th. The limited time event Infernal Knowledge, another one where you complete activities, you get yourself rewards. I always love the Telluric Pearl rewards because you could use those as incremental upgrades on whatever gem you want to focus on. For me, it's typically the Blood-Soaked Jade. Get one of these, get 60 gem power, put it into the Blood-Soaked Jade, you bump it up one more notch to slowly but surely work it up at least to a rank 5 so you can awaken the slot that these things are in. Fractured Plane returns as well, always fun. This is going on from the 20th of September through the 27th. Conqueror also returns from the 20th through the 27th as well. Notice they kind of put together a lot of these PvE activities alongside of these PvP activities as well. Hungering Moon comes back, so you can get some of that dungeon goodness and you can get some rewards from that. Always very easy to participate in this one, especially if you're doing your daily dungeons. And then we have some feature updates. New Tales in Sanctuary, of Sanctuary and the Adventures Chronicle. Let's see, a new tab for Tales of Sanctuary has been added to the Chronicle. These are longer multi-part stories which breathe life into the squalid splendor of Sanctuary. When obtaining and a readable item, selecting its banner will immediately open the item to be read if unlock conditions are met. If you have yet to unlock the contents, it will be added to the Adventurer's Chronicle in Deckard Cain's workshop. They've also implemented a new hint system in the Adventurer's Chronicle. If a journal, book, letter of note is available, visiting the Tales tab in the Adventurer's Chronicle can provide a hint for the location of the missing story. So they're going to put us on a hunt for little quest items, I guess. The Abyssal Verge changes. We've made a few changes within the Abyssal Verge to make the mode more approachable. The Verge will drop the daily limited normal gems when playing in a 4-player party, which shares a cap with any other mode that drops normal gems. The boss cap of 64 per week. The boss's final location will now be marked on the map, who also spawns much earlier in the mode. Additionally, footsteps will appear directing you toward the final boss location. And Castle Erebon difficulty updates. They're updating the difficulty of the castle when playing in a group to scale by 0.6 difficulty rather than 1 so they're making it easier. Solo has been unchanged, 2-person 1.6 times difficulty from 2, for 3 people is 2.2 from 3, and for 4 people is 2.8 from 4. Now, something you probably have wanted to see is a quality of life up change with the familiars. Interesting, huh? Because right now it's brutal to try and upgrade these familiars and extremely confusing. We're introducing several updates to the familiar system. The goal is to improve the overall system to make it easier to use and understand. The first part of those improvements focuses on improving mission guidance, leveling up familiars, end pack melding, and other daily tasks within the familiar system. Much needed right here, in my opinion. Empowering familiars has been adjusted to allow all familiars that are not yet reached level 30 to be upgraded simultaneously. Ending multiple familiar packs has also been upgraded, allowing you to filter and select familiars to end packs based off the skill quality. Ending packs now has the option to provide a conversion stone shard when you're packed with a familiar that has 6 magic traits. Earning 2 conversion stone shards will automatically combine into a conversion stone. Okay, so far nothing is looking crazy awesome yet. A new option has been added to familiar melding, which lets you directly use conversion stones to increase the number of rare skills on your familiar. Okay, as you can see, ending packs, you can get those stones, and then you have the stones. Plus, now you can see your familiar on your character screen. That I actually like. We've been wanting, I've been saying that for a while, that we should see our familiar. It's part of our class, it's part of our build, it's part of what we look like, so that's cool. And their developers note, we've heard the community feedback that the current familiar system is difficult to use. This is the first phase of changes we're making to the overall system, and we have more planned to arrive in future updates. I think that's key, and I think that's huge, because I don't think that this right here that they just mentioned is enough. This is essentially just making it easier to use conversion stones more quickly and meld. Not conversion stones, to empower more quickly and to meld. So I don't think that is the biggest change right there. Changes to challenge rifts, hey? Several changes are coming. Upon completing the challenge rift, a blacksmith will now spawn at the exit portal. Now, you can now skip 10 levels at once when completing a challenge rift, depending on how fast you completed it. Combat rating requirements are now displayed in the UI when entering the challenge rift, so you know the difficulty of the monsters you'll be entering when entering. That's kind of nice. So it shows it right here, the combat rating that you're going to need to be able to be successful at that level. I like that. And I really like being able to jump 10 levels and get the rewards for all 10 of those levels as you jump. On selecting a challenge rift, we've now included buttons on the sides to select the selected rift to quickly toggle between the next available challenge rift or one of a lower level. I'm not seeing that button on this screen right here. It looks the same to me. Maybe they have another image somewhere else. Magic Affix updates. No, I guess they don't have an image somewhere else. We're updating Magic Affixes to now have categories that help to identify and categorize these. That's pretty good. Endure limits damage through evasion and improved health. Clandestine, invisible and able to move unhindered through enemies. There are several affixes that no longer appear on the new items in game. Any new items that currently have these affixes are unaffected. Primary attack reduced cooldown of healing potions. Recharge 1.5% of your healing potion every 5 yards you move. Or you have a 0.9% chance to restore charge for your healing potion when you immobilize an enemy. Damage taken reduced by 6% while your healing potion heals you. Also, the following affixes have been improved. All right, I'm not going to read through all of these that have been improved. If you would like to, you can, but it looks like we're getting a little bit better on healing from all of these. Loss of control on some of these. Knockbacks have a 8%, previously 6%. So it looks like we're getting a bit more benefit from our magic affixes here, which is nice. Fabled Wisps stacking updates. Fabled Wisps now can stack up to 9,999 stash tabs everywhere. Rejoice, so that your stash tabs aren't going to be completely filled up with these wisps. Random dungeon matchmaker changes. I use random dungeon all the time. This is how I go through the dungeons, essentially. When matchmaking using the random dungeon finder, you can now vote to remove a member from your party before inactivity is detected. Before inactivity. Initiating a vote requires you to select a reason why the party member is being removed, and if players vote in agreement, the member will be... That stinks in a way if you have 3 people that are just... Well, I guess they probably wouldn't kick people for no reason. They need to they're doing the random finder. They got to find someone anyways. Each player will be able to start a vote every 30 seconds. If someone is voting a third time in a single dungeon instance, regardless of who they've elected to remove, their cooldown to initiate a removal will be increased by 1 minute a vote. Voting to remove a member from a party will not prevent the loss of the final 4-player chest. Additionally, the inactivity detection system will still be active during these updates. If a vote is enabled and a kick already meets these conditions, the player will immediately be removed without a need to vote. This update also removes the ability for the party leader to kick all players while using random dungeon finder. Cool, that's good. Good overall change there. Weekly battle pass updates. This is a good one as well. I like this one a lot, actually. Battle pass points earned towards completing the battle pass now have a rolling cap that increases by 2,400 each week. So essentially, rather than getting 2,400 points you could accumulate per week and then it resetting every week, it now will roll over. So if you only got yourself 1,400, then on week 2, you can get that initial 1,000, making your total 3,400 rather than just another 2,400. So you could have a slow week and you're able to make up for that slow week by some really good progression in the following weeks. The goal of this change is to give you more freedom in completing your battle pass and give you a chance to catch up and claim all the rewards later in the season. That's a good one. I love it. Fading Embers and Elder Rifts now grants 10 Fading Embers, increase from 8. So essentially, you're going to be able to get more of these, which are going to allow you to get more legendary crests more regularly. Crests continue to grant 1 Fading Ember towards the bonus Fading Ender cap. Once you've earned all 150 bonus Fading Embers from using crest, the 1 Fading Ember per crest used will contribute towards the base Fading Ember cap. The base Fading Ember cap remains at 280, and the bonus Fading Ember cap remains at 120 for the 400 weekly total. This change lets you continue to use crest more quickly to efficiently earn your Fading Embers this week. If a group of 4 players all use 10 crests, you can now cap your Fading Embers after completing 8 rifts instead of previously took 35 runs. So they're making it more effective and more quickly accessible to grab all those. Hilt's Trader, they made some changes to the Hilt's Trader. Each week now offers 14 rare crests. So instead of getting 2 per day, you're going to be able to get 14 weekly. 35 aspirin keys, which you could buy all at once if you want. 15 stacks of the forge materials and 15 of dust. And the immortals, 14 sigils, 7 rare crests. Essentially what they're doing here is they're making it be able to buy more of these more quickly. Not that there's more that you could buy, just that you could buy them all in one sitting, and you don't miss out if you don't log into the game every day. So if you're not logging in every day, you're not being affected and missing some of those rewards. We have elite quest adjustments. All elite quests are now viewable at Tate and now display the requirements to unlock. The adventure seeker will now display an exclamation point with an elite quest becoming available. Cool. Clan leaders' name changes. Clan leaders now change the name of their clan with the cost of platinum. Cool. There's a 7-day cooldown. That's fine too. Bounties party finding pop-up. The prompt to ask players if they would like to look for a party has been removed from the bounty board. Instead, we're added a button directly on the bounty board if you would prefer to search for a party. That's a good idea because it was always annoying when that would pop up. Level boost for returning players. Returning players will now receive a free boost to level 60. You'll be able to access this boost through the Return to Sanctuary event in the chapters between levels 20 and 60. This free boost is optional and stacks with daily login items and experience rewards available through this event. Currency description pop-ups. When trading with the merchant, you can now select the different currencies listed in the top bar for information. Battleground damage reduction changes. Oops, sorry, there we go. The damage reduction in Battlegrounds and Rite of Exile has been increased from 30% to 40%. We've heard the community feedback that many players dealt too much damage and often kill other players instantly in Battlegrounds. They made the adjustment there. And they made some changes here to the Blood Knight. Fixed an issue, caused the Blood Knight's abomination sub-skill descriptions to be too small and unreadable. And, well, that's the update. Now, I did mention that I want to share with you guys one thing as well from the community manager that we saw coming through. And that is right here. We had a message come through in the Discord server. What about the major update notes? Missing important things like magical perk removing and Herodrum tableau reset function, but more important, where is the tower rework information? Season ends in 2 days, and an additional, what about the dungeon revamps? Now, obviously this was asked before these patch notes came out, but we did get a response right away from Ghost Signal, which was really cool to see the community manager inside of those chats. There will be some items going live with information in game when the build goes live that we just unfortunately won't be available in advance. The information will be available in game when the build goes live. This isn't ideal, but unfortunately, it's not possible for us to share in advance this time for circumstances beyond my control. So it's nice that we're getting answers from the community, from Blizzard themselves. A lot of times content creators, Blizzard creators, Diablo partners aren't able to answer a lot of these questions because we don't know what's going on there. So really cool to see Ghost Signal stepping in and being the face of the community. To be honest with you, this update doesn't look like a bust to me. We're getting ourselves a new zone, which is going to be really cool. We're getting ourselves new gameplay mechanics. We're getting ourselves a new game mode, which actually looks like a lot of fun also. So I'd really be curious to see what is expected from the community, why a lot of the negativity alongside of these patch notes coming out. Really curious to what you guys have to say. I'll be looking at the comment section below, but that's the update that we have dropping inside of Diablo Immortal tomorrow. Make sure you dive into the game, test it all out. I'll be doing that myself, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.